This is a breaking news alert from 24-Hour News 8.
Breaking right now, this convicted mass murderer who busted out of an Ionia prison is still on the run, and police have no idea where he is. These are the very newest images that we have of Michael Elliot, the last time he was seen at an Indiana gas station, where an Ionia woman he had carjacked was able to escape. It was near the Indiana-Michigan line, and now police say they don't have a clue as to where he is right now. We just talked with police in Indiana minutes ago. They think the carjacking victim's level head kept her alive.
You know, and the whole time she had her cell phone, she lied to him and said she didn't have a cell phone, kept it in her pocket and put it on vibrate so that it wouldn't alert him that she had it, so that she'd have a phone to be able to call when she got the opportunity.
We will show you exactly how that amazing escape happened, but first, let's bring you up to speed. Michael Elliot broke out last night at 7 o'clock. An hour later, he carjacked a woman in Ionia. Around 9:20, the prison noticed that he was gone. Then around midnight, the carjacked woman escaped from him at an Indiana gas station. Our team coverage starts with 24-Hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey live in Ionia, where prison leaders talked this morning to Joe, and it's been about 15 hours since they noticed that Elliot was gone. We're trying to figure out what went wrong, and what have you learned about this so far, Joe?
Well, Sue, they're still gathering a lot of information as to what went down here last night. They believe that somehow Elliot got through holes in 2 perimeter fences outside the Ionia Correctional Facility. But as you said, he'd been gone as long as 2 hours before prison officials realized they had an escape on their hands.
Job 1 is to recover and apprehend this escapee.
State corrections officials not releasing many details on how Michael Elliot was able to escape. One reason, they don't want to give anyone inside prison walls any ideas. Another reason, they're still trying to figure out some of those details. What they do know, Elliot managed to get a white uniform, usually reserved for prisoners working in the kitchen. It's not clear how he got that uniform. Again, no specific details, but DOC officials say the white uniform may have helped Elliot foil some security devices. He managed to get to a prison sally port, a usually secured garage where prisoners are driven in and dropped off, then got through holes in 2 perimeter fences, making his way off prison grounds, heading east. He abducted his victim at a location in the 600 block of West Main in Ionia and made his getaway to Indiana, where his victim was able to escape unharmed. Prison officials say despite his multiple murder convictions, Michael Elliot had no history of becoming an escape risk. That's why he was at the lower end of the levels ranking prisoner security risks.
I will be demanding a very thorough investigation. It's obvious that there were some flaws in our security and that we need to assess what those are. And we've already made a number of corrections just over the evening hours.
Now, we also heard from a lot of folks who live in or around the prison here on M21. They tell us that the sirens that normally go off when there is an escape attempt, they did not hear them last night. We did put that question to DOC officials. They say they did go off. Maybe a moot point, however, because he'd already been gone as long as 2 hours by the time they realized it. Live in Ionia, Joe LaFurgey, 24-Hour News 8.
Joe, thank you. Now from Ionia to the Elkhart, Indiana area, where that Ionia woman, the carjacking victim, was able to escape. And 24-Hour News 8's Amanda Jarrett is showing us exactly how that woman used her wits to escape from this mass murderer. Here's her report now.
It was at this gas station here in Middlebury, Indiana, where that woman in her 50s from Ionia was able to get away from Michael David Elliot. I want to show you. They stopped here at the exit just south of the state line, went to pump 3 to fill up that woman's Jeep. Now, she only had about $11 in cash, some change there. That's what he used to pay for the gas. He went up to the front and bought some medicine, some water. The clerk didn't think anything of it. He thought maybe there was a mother and a son combo. He said it didn't seem alarming or unusual. But while he was up there, the woman actually asked the clerk the address to the gas station, kept her cell phone hidden in her pocket, went back here to the women's restroom here in the corner, locked herself inside and hid here until Elliot drove away. She was able to call 911, and that's when the police arrived. Now, we talked to Michigan State Police detective who says her quick thinking may have saved her life.
Just basically out doing her job, working on a Sunday when this happened. So I think it goes to her staying as calm as she did, and she had a rapport with the guy throughout that time, and then made it to here and convinced him to get off at the exit because they needed gas. So I think, you know, her thinking about getting to a gas station and being around some other people is probably what, kept her from going any farther than she did.
Again, Michigan State Police saying that woman, quick thinking, kept a cool, calm head about the whole situation, kept a good rapport with him during that 2-hour drive here to this gas station. They say it all started last night. She was leaving a home in Ionia that was somehow linked to her place of employment, but they didn't want to release those details due to privacy. But she was trying to get into her red Jeep Liberty. They say Elliot came up behind her with a box cutter, talked to her, said he had an emergency. He got in the back seat, she got in the front seat, ended up driving 2 hours to this spot, and again convinced him that they needed to get off and get gas, and she was able to get away unharmed. In Middlebury, Indiana, Amanda Jarrett, 24-Hour News 8.
Earlier this morning, we talked with the gas station clerk who waited on Elliot and the carjacking victim, and here's what he told us.
Then I was scared. I was scared too. It look like murder. He just come here and he need gas. He hurry. I said his son and mother.
And of course, it was shortly after that that the victim was able to make her getaway. As we've been telling you since 24-Hour News 8 at 11 o'clock last night, Elliot is a brutal killer who in cold blood helped gun down 4 people, then lit that home on fire. Those murders happened back in the early 1990s north of Midland. Here's another look at Elliot. Again, police don't believe that he's in West Michigan. They say he told his victim that he was looking at going to Chicago or Cleveland, but police just don't know for sure if those were just points that he wanted on her GPS just to get out of Michigan, or if he intends to actually go to one of those cities. Police have given us a tip line. If you have any clues at all that may help investigators, please call this number. It is up on your screen, 527-5616.